Be prepared to be afraid.
Parker? Okay.
Before we purchased our house in Bloomingdale, I was living in a small condo with my husband, and it was very small and it was far away from both of our jobs. So we wanted to find a house that was closer to our jobs. The first impression I got was that it was very eerie. They had bushes that were overgrown in the front. The house needed a lot of work. I saw crumbling masonry work, and I just looked at her. I said, "Ghosts." Her jaw dropped. She goes, "I can't believe you said that." She goes, "Ever since I moved in," she goes, "things have been going on in the house that I can't explain." It turns out many people in that area were having experiences, but my house, everybody seemed to point to my house and said, "But that's where it really gets very strange." I had to get to the bottom of this, how to find out, and I didn't even know really paranormal groups existed. When I Googled hauntings in Bloomingdale, I saw Mark's website.
I first heard from Patty back in February of 2008, and she was looking for us to come in and perform a professional scientific investigation. Now, during this time, we were doing audio recording, trying to capture EVP, which stands for Electronic Voice Phenomena. Also, during the investigation, we had a video camera with night vision set up in the master bedroom, pointed at her dresser where she felt like she had seen things before. Patty was sitting on the bed nearby with one of our other investigators.
And really, I was talking, but no one was getting anything. But I looked at the dresser, and I saw a white, almost like a mist or a shadow in front of the dresser.
So the cameraman, the investigator, panned the camera around from the dresser to see if he could capture anything. When he panned the camera to the left,
Evidence of the paranormal was becoming harder to ignore at Patty Haig's house. Now a guest had been threatened. You are going to die tonight. Wanting answers, Patty had called in a paranormal investigation team.
So the cameraman, the investigator, panned the camera around from the dresser to see if he could capture anything. When he panned the camera to the left, all of a sudden he captured what looked like a head with no features. You cannot see a face or anything, but it looked like a head with a hairline.
And it had very dark hair, and you can't see features of a face. It's bizarre. It's just you see the hair and it's sticking in.
And then after a second, it seems to realize it's being filmed, and it slides right out of the frame. We felt that it was the land that had the activity more than Patty's house alone. So we made arrangements to bring in a ground-penetrating radar team to scan that area to see what they could find. And the results were very interesting because the radar operator said he found 5 areas of interest. And looking at the imagery, you can see the white spots that they found, that it was in his opinion that they could have been human burials still underground. It was our impression that this could have been a Native American site with circles, possibly a medicine wheel or other types of ceremonial circle used in their religion. If it's possible that if it was used for ceremonial purposes with the spirits, that might account for some of the activity that we were encountering in the area.
Once Mark and his team came in and did their investigations, activity did pick up in the house significantly, where it almost appeared that now it was taking more of a malicious turn for me. You just felt like you were going to be attacked. You felt like you were going to be murdered. I was pushed down my oak stairwell. And I knew if I didn't leave that house, I wasn't going to survive in that house. It would have been a disaster for me to stay in that home. So when my husband got a new job down south, That was probably the happiest news I had in years. I didn't care if we had to live in a tent somewhere. I honestly didn't. I would have been happy living in a tent to get out of that house. The last day of the house, I stood outside the door, closed it, locked for the last time, and got in my car. I felt a lightness that I haven't felt in years. I felt like a new person, a happy person.
The house had finally convinced Patty that another plane existed, and it was too much for her to live with.
It was that location, it stayed at that location, and now I'm living in a place that is completely free of any kind of paranormal activity, and I would never go back, ever.